Mafia is truly one of the greatest games ever created. It was released more than 20 years ago. It doesn't seem obsolete at all. It's classic, it's nostalgic, but it's not obsolete. I think Mafia is one of those games which are presented in everybody's gaming experience history. It's like if you ask someone about Mafia, you're gonna see a shiny little tear of nostalgia deep in his eye. Superb game, with its unique atmosphere, which I would like to reveal today. There is the story. The story is good. There are characters. The characters are good. You can spoil a good story and good characters by simply putting them into wrong world. There's the world. The world is good. And this is exactly what I would like to talk about today. The world. So to explain this a little better to you, I'll do a comparison with the Red Dead Redemption 2. Not because these games are alike, they are obviously not, but because they cause similar feeling. Full immersion into the world and complete merging with it. And because I'll never miss a chance to say something good about Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 was one of the best gaming experiences in my life. And not even because of the story, though the story is good. The world. The world of Red Dead Redemption, which still fascinates me. This game was actually the only game which made me feel so much absorbed into the world, into the environment, separated from the story. You know what I mean? I've played a lot of good games, a lot of amazing games with amazing atmosphere, and those games, they were absorbing me too, but the Red Dead Redemption actually made me feel that the world I'm now playing in is real. Like, I didn't think that that world is real, obviously, but I had that feeling. And that is amazing. Because of that world being so detailed, so dynamic, I felt that I'm a part of it. I felt that that world was something I belonged to. Often when I had bad day, was frustrated, failed something, or felt bad without any particular reason, one of my best ways to calm down was just to ride a horse. And this is probably one of my favorite things about Red Dead Redemption 2, that I could just ride wherever I want, listening to the sounds of nature, to that amazing music, looking at the landscapes, and that was an amazing feeling. I actually never used fast traveling in the Red Dead Redemption. In my opinion, it is a total waste of wonderful experience. It is a total waste of game itself. And I have a funny feeling that you had the same attitude too. And you probably will be surprised. But this is sort of how I felt about Mafia's world. Yes, it's not detailed, not dynamic, not that beautiful, although it is beautiful in its own way. Yet, pretty much as the world of Red Dead Redemption, the world of Mafia felt alive. I like to drive. I prefer nighttime because there is something calming in night driving. The first and most important thing, need to choose a car. That is not hard, I always had one choice. This yellow truck is not the best car in the game. To be honest, it is one of the worst when it comes to running away or chasing. Once I carefully took that car on killing Morello's brother mission. In my protection, I forgot how it would go. I certainly remembered that I needed to shoot. But what I also needed to do was to run away. And I couldn't, simply. It was too slow, too clumsy. So after being murdered 5 times in a row, I finally decided that changing a car is not that bad idea. But for calm night driving, it is perfect. So I take it. It drives softly and smoothly, especially in turns, causing a relaxing feeling. This is another Mafia feature I would like to admit. Each car has unique physics, feels differently, behaves differently. Some cars are good at turns, some skidding so badly that you're just losing control. Some are fast and comfortable, some feel like you are driving a truck. So after spending some time in the game, you start to understand how to behave with each car so it goes properly and what car you need for a particular mission. You feel the car. And that is something which still fascinates me about Mafia, because yes, there are a lot of other games where different cars feels differently, that is okay, but I have never played any other game which made me feel this so severely. Let's take a drive. You will ask what feels so alive in this game. The only thing you can do in your free time is basically drive. Yes, you're right. It's the only thing, and I don't think that I can explain this to you properly because I don't have a proper explanation. It just feels. I always say this when I don't have a good words to say. It feels. Sounds poetic as hell. As if it has any meaning. But it really feels. In semi-empty streets and lonely lights and windows. I had a feeling that somebody lives in those houses. Something is happening behind the curtains right now, the moment I drive through. Some people sleep, read books, and some listen to the radio. Somebody smoking and thinking about bad things. Somebody looking through the window in the cars driving through. Maybe they're even looking at me. Especially I like to drive through the working district. The lights in the houses there somehow seemed sad. The people on the streets. I didn't make myself think so. I didn't try to immerse myself. I didn't force myself. But I thought those people were going somewhere, and this thought was natural and spontaneous. Once I even chased a random car to see where it would go. I knew where the car was driving, obviously, but I was just like, where are you going? There must be some destination, some particular place. And yes, eventually the car stopped, the driver came out and transformed into a regular NPC pedestrian who went on his unsettling, senseless path. I once tried to chase a pedestrian as well, but after 5 minutes I simply got bored. I don't have that much patience, especially knowing where he's going. He's going nowhere. I also like to take a ride on a train. Yet that is another weird Mafia pleasure. The night was a good time for it. Waiting for a train is a necessity, because we're always waiting for the trains, right? Somehow it seems that it should be like that we have to wait for the train, especially if it is evening, when you feel strangely, calmly in danger. And then, riding in train, I like to pretend that I was coming back home in the dead of night. There is a bottle of whiskey, a gramophone with some blues records, and a good book waiting for me in my tiny but cozy apartment. Sick. But I liked to think like that. That was nice. And by the way, Mafia is the only game which made me to follow traffic rules. Not any other game made me do that, even Mafia 2. Although the world of Mafia 2 actually caused similar feelings. The world of Mafia is bigger than you might think, especially when you're leaving the city and driving to the countryside. Countryside. There is another game which comes to my mind and which has an amazing countryside. I think you know what game I'm talking about, right? You know, right? Let me know. First thing, need to stop for the rest in the motel. Yeah, I did that. Because it is important. Because if you're driving somewhere and it is a night and there is a motel, you're stopping by. That's a rule. Of course, I was just pretending, as you can't stop in a motel. But look at it. Look at this place. This place looks amazing. It looks like some awesome scene from some awesome movie. That's cool. That one spot in the game is one of my favorite out of all games I ever played. It's really awesome. I don't know why, I really like this. And somehow driving exactly through this spot, driving past the motel, I always had a feeling that right now it is a beginning of a completely different story. And that was interesting feeling. When you're living in the city, the map disappears, so it's easy to get lost. But driving without a map is even better. It adds some mystery and romance to a night trip. Who knows where this road will lead me? Let's take a drive through the countryside. Good views. The calm feeling of being free, even with the understanding of being limited by the world of the game. Lonely cars drive nowhere and you are just one of them. You can set the number of cars, but I preferred a few. Far secluded farms, lonesome lights, wolves howling in the forest. You're going to laugh, but once I even got slightly scared, driving narrow road, surrounded by trees. It was interesting feeling, knowing that Mafia is not one of those games. I still felt unprotected and uncomfortable, strangely. And that was good. That was really good. I really liked that. And there are so many roads there. I'm not even sure that I explored all of them. And this is the reason why I'm coming back to this game from time to time. To drive. And to play some of my favorite missions for one more time. These moments make me feel good. Everything I've been worrying about can wait. Just let me drive a little bit. Just let me pretend for a while that this one is the world which is real.